Shine a light on me. The Midnight Special 3 is here. It is 2 a.m. Eastern Time right now. We are live right here, Speed Gaming Prime, twitch.tv/speedgaming. It is May 4th, 2019. We just got into Saturday, and here we go. Left side of your screen, the 2-in-1 leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Zardia. Right side of your screen, the 2-in-1 Lord of the Synth. Great matchup that we've got here in the 4th round of the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. My name is Wookleosis. Right now, I am not infectious, nor am I the smooth talker. They call me the Dragon Slayer nowadays. I'm joined in the background by such a great help. It's Danny3883 helping us out. She just told me some notes just now for particularly Town Shuffle. That's going to be featured here again as we are in round 4. That is consistent. 2 loose items. Could both be required? Could one be required? Could be even a 3rd loose item? Who knows? Could both be required? Who knows? We're going to find out. Walking the plank and banned. Right in the middle of your screen towards the top, the white mage has been randomly selected. No white mages in this round. No white mages in this match. The captain of the ship, however, is the thief. The thief is the captain and is forced. You can see the thief in the upper left-hand corner of each player's screen. Both players have taken a fighter, a red mage, and a black mage. So we will have identical party makeup for this matchup tonight, this morning, whatever it is that you want to call it. Danny3883 is holding the starting gun, and she's about to pull the trigger to let our runners go. Go ahead and let them go, Danny. And they are about to be off. We've had great action tonight. Right here, everything's been on Speed Gaming. They've been absolutely fantastic. To the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, we cannot thank them enough. We cannot thank you enough, Math Girl. I know you're out there. You're one of my favorites. She got all this show going on so that we can bring our great randomizer and our incredible tournament so far to you, the fans. Whether it's here on Twitch or whether it's later on, reloaded and re-uploaded over on YouTube. We've got some fans, actually, that have come over from our YouTube community. I see you over there that are watching right now live, some of their first live matches. We've had an absolute blast all night. This is the 6th match in the last 5 hours. Getting crew together was quite fun, and we've had a great time doing it. Thank you to everyone for helping out, and we are off. Zardia is the first to make it to the castle of Canaria Town. He checks out white magic, finds nothing. Not much in the weapon shop for Lord of the Synth. We are on to black magic and, whew, Lightning 3, and one of my favorites, Brack. I've got to think that Lightning 3 is going to get a whole lot of workout for both players. Lord of the Synth finds out the bad news about Mute, Exfer, A-Rub, Fog 1. Ooh, not too good. Zardia, 30 seconds into the match, is already on foot. He's going to test the encounter table. It's a decent little run. He's already on his way to the Temple of Fiends. Lord of the Synth checking most of the shops. Zardia heads directly to Garland. Garland threatens to knock Zardia down. Zar's gonna attack with a fighter, not much, but fire a Lightning 3 directly into Garland with a huge hit of 208. Garland has perished. Lord of the Synth continues doing some shopping. Zardia rescues Princess Sarah. Princess Sarah hands over the tail for potential class promotion to the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, and a ribbon comes from the King of Canaria. Lord of the Synth is out of Canaria. He's all prepared now. He's going to head that way. Czar skipped the 3 chests that are very available in the Temple of Fiends that could yield money to potentially buy a vendor item, which is located in Canaria. It's the crown, and it's cheap. 3,600 in gold and change. That crown can be returned to the kindly king of Northwest Castle. He is missing it. He will hand over a key item. Potential progression chain. Potential who knows what. Lord of the Synth continues to battle. Now starts to battle some bones, actually, in the Temple of Fiends. I missed the first chest, Danny, but oh my. Oh my. Lord of the Synth makes the chest check And he picks up not only a coral sword, it looks like it was a saber sword also as well. He's got for weapons. He's lost his fighter. One of the 2 loose items that we talked in the intro has already been located in the first 3 chests, and it's a water vessel. It's the ship. This entire title of this tournament is called Sail the High Seas. There's a reason the ship is there. Lord of the Synth has it. Zardia skipped it. I can't think that will last too long at this point in time, but right now, advantage to the right side of your screen. Lord of the Synth making the check. He's lost his fighter. Zardia is headed to the 3 chests in Matoya's cave. He's looking for money. He picked up a pure potion, just enough to buy the crown and a little bit more pocket change. Lord of the Synth pulls the Garland fight. He's not in the greatest of shapes, but he gets initiative, fires a lightning 3, and takes out Garland. He steps away from rescuing Princess Sarah, moves the bat out of the way. He's going to pick up his ribbon and his tail. Czar, after raiding Matoya, gets lightning 2'd by a grump. Will C is down. You're going to need him, Czar. He's checking the shuffle town at the original Provoca. That town has been shuffled to Crescent Lake. Czar's going to immediately resurrect Will C. Attaboy. He's going to check the item shop. Not going to find any vendor item, but he's looking for heal potions. He's going to buy a bunch of them. He's also going to check the armor shop on his way here. He's looking for pro rings and gold bracelets. Do we see those? We do. Pro rings, 11,000 gold, as well as chain armor. He's going to buy 2 chain armors. One for his fighter, one for his red mage. Lord of the Synth's going to make this trek the same sort of way, but he's going to do it by boat. There is a less encounter rate as you sail the high seas. The ratio is actually fairly staggering if you were to look and put them side by side. So Lord of the Synth is going to be able to travel not only a little bit faster, but with a few less encounters. Level 6 Black Magic Fast was in the top slot. That's going to be Red Wizard learnable eventually. Black Mage learnable as well. Lord of the Synth takes on an Ogre. He knows that the crown is there and buyable. Czar can buy the crown as of right now. Czar has made his way to the confused old men. They used to be in a circle. Someone didn't give them their meds. And had Minochi 85, I tell ya. Czar having a lot of chit-chats. What could be here? Is it another vessel? It's the Mystic Key! Wow, required. Interesting thing is, Czar could return to the Temple of Fiends. And he could check all the chests in the Temple of Fiends. I gotta think that might just be his plan. Lord of the Synth at the 5-minute mark, fires Lightning 3, takes out a whole pack of wolves. He gets to level 3 on a Light Warrior. We'd like to welcome the Enforcer, Falconic FF, Max Plus Pi. That's Lavkion from Dragon Warrior Randomizer. I've watched a lot of you. Welcome to the show right here, live. The Midnight Special 3. I've been here for all 3 of them as Czar gets blazed by a creep and has to reset. This started out with a great match back in October. There's Bane from the Sayhags takes out Lord of the Synth. Wow. We have, it started back in October. The original Midnight Special, Will Bloodworth played Demon Frog in a great match that we had here. We brought it back again in a preview here for the 2019 Spring Tournament as Shadowwalker 227 took on Lord Fizzlebeef. And here we are again. Czar makes his way back to Canaria Castle. He's going to use that Mystic Key and pick up 3 chests. Lord of the Synth finds out the information that the old Provoca is Crescent Lake. He heads directly to the armor shop. 20,000 gold for Zardia. That's what he wanted to see. He can fill up on heal pots. He can do a whole bunch of other things with that, including buying the crown. Does he check the Temple of Fiends? I've got to think that he's going to. Also, welcome Maverick Nissa. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us. Marco Pickle. It's been a while. Sensible. Joins us late nights. Watches Czar. Watches other Final Fantasy Randomizer players. Shalazia. I know Shalazia is streaming right now. Czar picking up copper bracelets for his Light Warrior party. Lord of the Synth. Navigating the confused old men who are, again, are off their meds. He picks up his Mystic Key. Czar over 25,000 gold. He's going to pick up his crown, fill up on cabins, tents, heal pots. There he goes right there. Heal potions for sure. You'll see 99 of those. Critical time for the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Czar. He has got to go to the Temple of Fiends and get that water vessel. It will be one of 2 loose items, potentially 3. I'd like to welcome the reigning champion, fresh off a great match just recently, right here on Speed Gaming, Edgeworth. Moving forward, playing very well in this tournament, been practicing a lot. Edgeworth must be concerned and thinking about a potential date that he might have coming up next week in the 5th and final round. There are other competitors that he may have to play, including the Mastermind, Crab Cakes. Out there also is the Lone Wolf, One Fine Day, potentially trying to knock Edgeworth off his platform of champion. Also the Dragon Slayer, Will Cleosis is involved in that mix. Another option that potentially Edge may have to go through. As Czar is checking the Temple of Fiends, and he finds his ship. One of the 2 loose, more than likely. Czar's gotta like seeing that. Probably thinks his opponent already has it, but he still got it early, he didn't put it off. He is gonna try to do the counterclockwise check at the Temple of Fiends. He will run into multiple trap tiles. They will be gargoyles. Given that he has copper bracelets equipped, those gargoyles can hammer you, but if you have at least some sort of copper bracelet, some sort of body armor, they'll usually hit 3 hits, 3 damage. Let's see what happens. They are unrunnable, so he cannot run. He's going to use Lightning 3. There's a hack, over 93 HP. Another 93 and a $128. Down go the gargoyles. He's going to have to take this fight again. Picks up 3,800 gold and a pure pot. Lord of the Synth has made his way to the Temple of Fiends. He's checking keylock chests now. DH Stom has returned to the crowd. DH, great to see you. It's been too long, my friend. Czar runs into a couple of tarantulas, trying to get away, and that thief does. Lord of the Synth gets away from a pack of wolves. They've crisscrossed. A little high five action. While fighting the 3 gargoyles. It's Lord of the Synth fighter down on one knee. Czar benefited from picking up those copper bracelets. Here's level 5 for Czar's Light Warrior party. Pure potion and some gold. Gold critical early here. And as in the design of all these matches. Both players will now travel on foot west towards the Dwarf Cave. Czar's doing it right now. He's not even headed back to Canaria. No, he turns around. He changes his mind. He's going back to the inn in Canaria. And he's going to save at the inn. No, he's not. He's going to go jump in the... He's not going to save. Okay. He jumps in his boat. And he is headed towards the Dwarf Cave, it looks like. 2 chests in here. Czar's going to check them. Lord of the Synth is right behind. Free Canal is a part of this design. Czar can leave the Intercontinent, as can Lord of the Synth. They can head south to Elfland. They can leave the Intercontinent and go through the Southport and check out the shuffle town of the original Elfland. A lot of different things these players can do. That was the design and the idea behind this. Sail the high seas. Where do you go? Why do you go there? How do you get there? How do you get in? How do you get out? Strategy, very strategy based. And with the loose items out there, just throws a wrench into everything. Iron armor pickup for Czar and a couple other dollars. Czar's gonna turn the Mystic Key in the Dwarf Cave. A good amount of chests in here. Lord of the Synth picks up a whole bunch of soft potions. They were very cheap. No houses available in Canaria. There's an ice armor pickup for Czar. That's a huge upgrade from the iron armor he just got. That's a power stick and a pro cape. A dragon sword as well. Czar will sell that power stick at the first opportunity that he can to get even more money. He equips the pro cape on Edge. That's on the thief. He's equipping armor there. He chooses not to put the pro cape on a mage. Pro cape acts as a shield, equipable by all light warriors except a black belt master. Hooray! Etap has joined us in chat. You. And there's the hoorays coming out from the party. Lord of the Synth following in Zardia's footsteps. There's the Bane from the Sahag's poison smoke. Makes Lord of the Synth reset. Czar has made his way now to Northwest Castle. He's going to return the crown to the kindly old king. The kindly old king hands over a ruby and initiates a fight. That's Astos. It was the dark elf all along. And wow, Astos has squint. Go figure. I think it was rub that he used 30 years ago on me so many times. Czar's struggling here against Astos. Astos has great absorb. He's got evasion. But no match for a Lightning 3 as Zardia picks up his ruby at the 13-minute mark. Again, Lord of the Synth is following in the footsteps. Great routing here from the leader of Final Fantasy. 3 chests that are key locked. He's got an option of potentially taking a fight in here should he wish to. Another 8,000 gold. And a wooden slab added to the repertoire. Lord of the Synth is going to make his way to the key-locked Dwarf Cave area. He'll pick up his Pro Cape. Ice Armor. Czar's making his way back to his ship. Been a great night of action here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. Some tough seeds, some not so tough seeds. Czar finds the blaze from the creeps. He's going to continue to take the fight. Reset. Reset. No. Blaze. A third blaze. Czar's down to his fighter, who has dark status. There's the reset after Trance was buried in there. Czar relinquishes a little bit of his small lead to Lord of the Synth by not resetting and continuing to take the fight. Did find out a little bit more information, found out that Trance was a second skill on an enemy he's not going to see very much anymore. Perhaps information diving? We'd like to welcome the Godfather, that's Mr. Versetti 13. Right here as the crowd continues to grow. Live on Speed Gaming, this late night, early morning match. Lord of the Synth returns his crown to the kindly old king. He finds out the tough news, that it was Astos all along. Czar breaks out of the inner sea. He heads to the original Melmond, finds Onrak, finds really cheap tents, 14 gold. Much better than the cabins at 123 gold. Lord of the Synth gonna get his 8,000 gold change in wooden shield. Starts checking white magic, the top, that one right there, lamp. That is going to be learnable. The top slot, level 7 white magic in Onrak, is learnable by the red wizard after class promotion from a red mage. It's a potential option for Czar later on, should he feel that he needs lamp in his back pocket. This is the midnight special right here live on Speed Gaming. Could he be shining a light on me? I don't know. Czar with the ruby in hand starting to trek towards the Titan's tunnel. Blaze from the creeps attacks Lord of the Synth. Save outside for Zardia, he enters the Titan's tunnel. Lord of the Synth resets, he's headed back towards his ship. Mirror images of each other, the same routing. Definitely the same route that I would take as well. Czar raids the small treasure trove of the Titan after feeding the Titan. Silver hat. And into some grrr wolves. Lightning 3 from Lord of the Synth takes out a pack of wolves himself. Synth is back into his boat. Does the same routing continue? I've got to think that it does. Neither player has checked the original Elfland. Lord of the Synth is breaking out of the inner continent. He's gonna find Onrak in this original Melmond. We're nearing the 17-minute mark. Zardia has made his way to Sarda in his lakefront home. Sarda's gonna hand over an item to the Light Warriors of Czar. It's Matoya's crystal. Sarda had Matoya's crystal. Lord of the Synth is returning to Canaria. Forgot to check the 6 key lock chest. There's a huge money chest in here. And some more money as well. Czar runs into some shadows as he tries to return through the Titan's tunnel. There's that big gold chest for Synth. Again, both players are 2-1. Lord of the Synth, fairly well known as the most improved player from last year. Both players were in the tournament last year, 2018. Lord of the Synth has come a long way. He came out of the gates of fire and he was 2-0. Until last week when he battled the Lone Wolf One Fine Day in a matchup of undefeateds that One Fine Day was able to pull off. That earned One Fine Day his match coming up this Sunday, Cinco de Mayo, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be right here on Speed Gaming. And the final battle of undefeateds to see who will move on and join the other two. Zardia is now returning to the Inner Sea. He's got the crystal in hand. I've got to think that he's going to head towards Matoya. Lord of the Synth picks up his copper bracelets with all that money. So he's got good defense now. We'd like to welcome Vertical Sandwich to the chat. Thank you very much for enjoying the show, Vertical Sandwich. Hope you do. Hope you come back. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer. This is how we do it. These are two classy individuals that we've got on the screen right now. Czar and his leadership. Lord of the Synth and the volunteering that he does. He helps us with restreaming. I would be here the rest of the night if we talked about the contributions that these two gentlemen make and the sacrifices that they make to Final Fantasy Randomizer. Lord of the Synth has made his way to the old Elfland. The town shuffle is on. It is Elfland. Level 3 and level 4 magic. It's a quarter of the percentage of the magic in the entire game. White magic. First and third slots can be learned by the Red Mage and Red Wizard and potentially the Knight. Harm 3 would really be the only potential option that Lord of the Synth would like to see. Zardia restores the sight of Matoya. Matoya had apparently been hitting the bottle. She handed over the bottle to Czar and said, "Here, take this." Level 4 white magic. Exit is in the third slot. Again, first and third slots available to that Red Mage of Lord of the Synth. He can learn Exit. Upon class promotion, he can learn the fourth slot. Temper is available along with Quad-X. Both the Red Mage and the Black Mage can learn any of these spells, and a total of 3 each. Red Mage, of course, can learn a little bit of white magic. Zardia is sailing south now, back inside the Intercontinent. He's headed towards Elfland, and he's going to find level 3 and 4 magic. Lots of fun having late night, early morning, wherever it is that you are. Final Fantasy Randomizer is a really good example of globalness. Czar's opponent last week, Len the Cat, he's been here since really the beginning, and he lives in Eastern Europe. We've got a commentator, we call him the OG, Chitin619. He lives somewhere in the South Pacific. I'm in northern Michigan. I know Zardia is a West Coast kind of guy. Our tracker, Danny3883, thank you again, is an East Coast girl. And we all come together because of the love of the game. Lord of the Synth equips the saber on the fighter over the light axe. You want to equip that light axe. It's actually a very strong weapon. Oh no, he did not. He put it on the thief. Okay. Blaze from the creeps, knocking out Lord of the Synth. Lord of the Synth is on the move. He's headed towards the Marsh cave. I'd like to welcome and say a very big thank you to Go Away, I'm Baiting. Appreciate it. You enjoy the show. Thank you. Lord of the Synth re-picks up his light axe. Let's see what he does with it. He is not going to equip it. He decides not to move the dragon sword over to the thief. It is equipable by the thief, and not the light axe on the fighter. That is certainly what I would have done. Zardia has raided the new and old Elfland. He's thinking about it. He was headed to the ship. No, he wasn't. He's headed towards the Marsh Cave now. I did not see... Danny, did Czar raid the Elfland Castle? One fine day? Did he get his light axe? Zardia's the first to make it to the Marsh Cave. Okay. LordoftheSynth right behind. It's been back and forth. Czar led by a whole 20 seconds or so. LordoftheSynth led by 10 seconds. Now Czar leads by 5 seconds, if you can call it that. I don't even think it's a lead. LordoftheSynth heads north in the Marsh Cave. There's 4 chests up here. Route divergence, Zardia's headed south. He's headed towards the incentivized location in a few more chests, deep inside the Marsh Cave. He runs away from the gaze bones. LordoftheSynth making good use of that light axe. It casts harm 2 in battle. Takes out undead enemies, does a good job of it too. Czar checks a linked chests. Runs into scorpions, gets away. LordoftheSynth runs into scorpions. Lightning 3 and he gets away. LordoftheSynth with a chance to strike first. Against the bones in a crawl, he uses the opportunity to run. Zardia's going for the incentive. He's gonna run and cast Lightning 3, a combination of everything. He gets away from the wizards and picks up the adamant from the incentivized wizard-guarded chest. There's 2 more chests he can check, plus 3 keylock chests, and he's going towards the 3-lock chest and he gets ambushed. Toxic! Toxic! Oh no! Toxic from the tarantulas takes out most of Czar's party. The ribbon saved him there, and LordoftheSynth has found a cube in Northern Marsh. That's both of our loose items at the 25-minute mark. As Zardia is struggling just to survive, gets a Lightning 3 off, gets out of the fight. To level 7 on his Red Mage. This is a critical juncture and critical moment for Zardia on the left side of your screen. That cube is required and it's loose. LordoftheSynth has it. LordoftheSynth apparently has a knack for getting to the loose items first. Czar's gonna continue this pillage. He's not gonna try to get out of here. He's got low Lightning 3s. His Red Mage doesn't run very well, but he gets away there. There's the first keylock chest. That's a house. LordoftheSynth trying to get out of here. I believe he's got a house that he found in a chest. He could potentially save and get his spell charges back. LordoftheSynth using that light axe again. Is gonna wipe out these undead. All except one of them, and he gets away. Zardia resets. He's got information on contents of a lot of the chests. He's definitely gonna go get that wizard guarded chest and its contents, the adamant. Nearby that can be turned in the dwarf cave. You have a little chit chat with Smithy McBeardsword. And he will give you a key item. Fetch quests are shuffled. LordoftheSynth re-enters the Marsh Cave. He's headed towards the basement. Toxic again from the tarantulas. Only knocks out the Black Mage. We'll see if LordoftheSynth sees that. And to welcome Slow Clapman as the crowd continues to grow here live on Speed Gaming. Czar gets past the wizards again, picks up his adamant. Our great tracker Danny3883 remarks the adamant. Czar lost it in the parish. Czar's trying to get out of here. LordoftheSynth does not know about the tarantulas and their toxic. Toxic is an AoE, which means it attacks all the enemies. Possessed only by enemies. It's a skill. Death Elemental, and there it is in the synth. And he only loses the Black Mage. Once again, that Toxic, a Death Elemental attack. You can protect yourself via equipping a Pro Ring. The Pro Ring is short for a protective ring. It protects you against the Death Elemental when equipped upon a Light Warrior, and essentially grants you immunity from the Death Element. It's not pure immunity, but it is quite close. The Death Elemental attacks from enemies include Rub and Quadex for the spells, Toxic and Squint for the skills. We have seen Pro Rings for sale, they were 11,000 gold. Lord of the Synth insists on checking the key-locked areas. He runs into a trap tile. He's gonna get the house right there. Zardia is out of the Marsh cave. He's got his adamant and he's had enough. He didn't get a chance to, I don't believe, check these other two key-locked or the upper right. Lord of the Synth runs into the Cobra trap tile. He draws 2 of the potential 6. They have Dazzle and he gets away. All that for 2 gold. Zardia continues to hike back to the Dwarf Cave. An unrunnable ogre fight. There's some scums trying to take on Lord of the Synth. Zardia turns in the adamant to Smithy McBeard's sword, and wow! Zardia has gained the floater. We're going to call it the 28-minute mark. Extended open progression is on. There is a dock by the Ryukon Desert. Zardia can sail there if he can get past the creeps with Blaze. He sees that and he resets again. And he can pick up his airship. Lord of the Synth very close. He picks up a Pro Ring. Immediately puts it on the Red Mage. This is a linked chest. It will be empty. Yes, it is. He's going for another key-lock chest, even with those tarantulas right in the middle with Toxic. Knock out his fighter and his thief. The ribbon saved his Red Mage. Lord of the Synth insists on checking these. Zardia opens up a little bit more of a lead. Except the top of Marsh was skipped by Czar, and it is required, as it contains the cube. You can see on our tracker down below, the cube is lit up. On Lord of the Synth, the right side of your screen, it is not on the left. Lord of the Synth perishes in the Marsh Cave. He insisted on checking it. Maybe he'll just go get the adamant and get out of here. Maybe that Pro Ring. It's a very valuable piece of armor. Yes, that was Wizards with Newt. Wow. Wizards show up again in the Ice Cave. They're on essentially one floor that you have to traverse twice. They also show up in the Earth Cave. Bane from the Sayhags. Poison smokes all of Czar's party except the ribbon wearer. This shows you the power of an equipped ribbon. That's how good it is. That's why Czar's Red Mage keeps surviving. That's why Lord of the Synth Red Mage kept surviving. It provides you the resistances and essential immunities to all 8 elements in Final Fantasy. Czar runs back into the Sayhags and gets away. Lord of the Synth fires a Lightning 3 into the Gargoyles. He'd much rather fight them, as he gets to level 8. He again checks the linked chest for the cabin. He gets ambushed. It's a Tarantula. Tarantula attacks. Lord of the Synth, gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of this fight or kill him. Ooh, he gets another close call as the Arachnid decided to attempt to physically attack Lord of the Synth. Czar still down to that one Light Warrior. He just wants to get to the Ryukon Desert, and he does. The 31-minute mark. Zardia has entered the air. He's headed directly to the town shuffle in the original Gaia, and he finds Melmond. It's Meridian, BC, the proprietor's favorite town. Zozo Melmond is on. There are encounters in Melmond now. Things have gotten worse. Czar considers headed south to the original Lefane location, says, turns around, and he now finds that the original Crescent Lake has been shuffled to the town of Gaia. Zardia does have the bottle, but he wants to look for gold bracelets. He does not find them in the armor shop. Decides to pick up a silver shield. Lord of the Synth trying to get out of the Marsh Cave. Czar will be able to walk by the clinic, resurrect any Light Warriors that he wants, and turn in the bottle, as he sells the Power Stick. Gargoyles for Lord of the Synth they can hit you, but These are the enemies that LordoftheSynth wants to see and get out of here. Synth is healing, trying to get out of this marsh cave with that adamant. We are trying to get the adamant marked on the tracker for LordoftheSynth. Looks like it's sticking. That'll be coming right up, fans. Zardia grabs the bottle, releases a tiny fairy. Tiny fairy has the required loot for Czar. He adds that to his repertoire. Jumps directly back into his airship after resurrecting the warriors that he wanted to. He's headed down towards the original elf, and he's going to get some more spells and pick up his light axe. LordoftheSynth is out of the marsh cave at the 33-minute mark. He's got the adamant out, and he will have access to the floater. You can see what Czar's doing. He equips the light axe. I believe that's 29 damage. And it can carry ya quite a ways into this game. Good mid-game weapon. Czar jumps back into his airship as LordoftheSynth starts the hike towards the dwarf cave. They have a chit-chat with Smithy McBeard's sword. Zardia is going to the Gurgu volcano. Saves outside, jumps back in, he's got 4 warriors standing. LordoftheSynth still with 4 warriors standing is not... He's gonna get... Oh, he gets away from the toxic. LordoftheSynth is gonna head back to town and save before headed towards the dwarf cave. It's getting hot for Czar as he starts to dive into the Gurgu volcano. This is the armory floor. Couple chests on the side, picks up an opal shield. LordoftheSynth saves. Directly resets, jumps on. He's gonna jump into his boat and head towards the dwarf cave. Here's the Falconic special, the Argoyles. They always have something, says the Enforcer. They have sleep and cremate, slowing down Czar and starting to ravage his party. But a lightning 3 is going to take them out. The talk in chat right now is about that loose cube. It's probably certainly the biggest story, more than likely, and it will probably continue. And the idea that's being floated there is, speaking of floated, as LordoftheSynth is about to pick up his floater, Czar, the second pro cape, the 2 of 2 in the game, is the top of Marsh, the last place that Zardia checks. And it very well could be. Czar has to reset. He's got some information, he knows where an opal shield is, he knows where a pro cape is. LordoftheSynth is getting blazed by the creeps. He resets quickly. He's gonna jump back into his boat and heads towards the Ryukon Desert. Here's the unrunnable Argoyles again. You know, they have sleep and cremate, but he only draws a formation of 2. Lightning 3 takes out because they have low HP. Czar heads for the armory. 35 minutes and change. Both loose items have been located by LordoftheSynth. Czar has one of them. It was the ship. It's required. But he does not have the cube, which is also required. And the concern would grow for any fan or anyone who's rooting for Czar, as we don't know if he's going to go back there anytime soon, but he does pick up an opal bracelet. He's going to put it on the thief? Okay. Czar's decided to use his thief. He's going to keep Edge up for a little while. Going to armor him up. He's in the top slot. We'll take most of the hits. We'd like to welcome Math Girl, our restreamer, to the chat. Checking in, joining the fans, enjoying the great show. LordoftheSynth sails the high seas on his way to the Ryukon Desert. Zardia and his character Will C fires Lightning 3 to take out a Fiend and he gets away. You can be whatever you want, Matt Girl. Czar takes the 1 to 2 fire trap tile, he's gonna run. Fire misses, fire only hits for 16. That's the power of the Opal Bracelet. Fire is a hard-hitting enemy, especially this early in the game. With the best body armor for a mage, and really one of the best body armors in the game, showing the type of strength that it has defensively. Lord of the Synth is in the air at the, we're gonna call it the 37-minute mark. In comparison to his opponent Zardia, Czar entered at 31 minutes. If we were to ignore the fact of the loose required cube, this would be a 6-minute difference and a lead potentially for Czar. But right now, Lord of the Synth is winning. Czar has gone to the Cardia Islands, picks up an ice sword. Lord of the Synth starts doing checks. He finds Gaia in the original Crescent Lake. Czar picks up a katana, one of 2 in the game, and the legendary Excalibur. He's also got a tail here in the Cardia Islands. He can class promote should he choose to. He's gonna raid these islands first. Lord of the Synth has not been to Sarda quite yet. Sarda held Matoya's crystal. So Lord of the Synth hasn't been able to turn the crystal in after talking to Sarda and pick up the bottle. So that visit to the new Gaia wasn't very productive for Synth. What is productive is a spell called Nuke in level 5 Black Magic. It's in the 2nd slot. That is Black Mage learnable, Red Wizard learnable. You must promote. He also finds Life 2 in the top slot of White Magic level 5. That is Red Mage learnable. The Red Wizard can also learn the 2nd slot. I didn't catch if that was Cure 4. It was not. Cure 4 will be locked out to both players. That is White Mage and White Wizard exclusive. So Life 2 will be available to both players level 5. Thank you, Ita. Zardia has turned in his tail with Bahamut, and class change at the 40-minute mark. He will be able to equip that katana on his ninja, legendary Excalibur as well. I've got to think that in the way this match has been going, Lord of the Synth is going to head there pretty quick too. As he resets, we'll see where he goes. He's taking notes. You see that pause? He's headed towards the original Lefane. Lord of the Synth is looking for Provoca. He has technically access to the original Onrak area where Provoca could be, but he'd have to get in the ship and sail the high seas. He doesn't want to do that. New uncharted ground for Lord of the Synth as he fires Fire 3 into the Frost Wolves. Zardia has returned to the Gurgu volcano. Things are a little bit different now. He's got some weapons, class changed, and equipped some more armor as well. But the unrunnable Argoyles are still annoying. Lavkion points out in chat potential lamp strats. Lord of the Synth heads to the original Lefane. Found out it was Lefane, immediately resets. We've got our first veteran move of the match, fans. He saved at his airship. Found what he didn't want, reset, no harm, no foul. Come back there if he needs to. Lord of the Synth heads directly to the Cardia Islands. He can class promote with his tail, pick up his legendary Excalibur, and his katana as well. As Zara starts to dig deeper, starting to feel the heat a little bit, deep in the Gurgu volcano. No orbs have been lit yet. Closest player is Czar. This is a very treasure-rich area. You can see him checking his magic. He's down to 1 HP on all his warriors. He heals Edge, and he heals Feasel. He starts to heal Will C, and he heals Adirondack Rick as well. Lord of the Synth has class changed at the 42-minute mark. Seems to me that Lord of the Synth post-airship routing has actually been perhaps slightly superior. Maybe has caught up a little bit of that time advantage, but you really can't put a time or a price on the possession of the required cube that Lord of the Synth has that is going to keep coming up. Czar finds a stick for left-hand corner. This floor in the Gurgu volcano. Two chests up here that Czar is going for. Checks his HP. Unrunnable red Ankylos for Lord of the Synth. Look out. Look out. You don't got any nuke. Fire 3 ain't gonna do it. Wham! Wham! Red Ankylos are gonna devastate Lord of the Synth. Lord of the Synth misses. 59 in a critical and a Fire 3 is not going to do it. We're gonna go to round 2. I don't know where you saved, Lord of the Synth, but good luck. Down goes the Knight. Down goes the Red Wizard. Fire 3, no. Reset. Zardia has made his way to the Agama area. Double Agama trap tile. Testing the HP. Couple Ice 2, 76 and 156. After a 202, pretty high HP Agama. He gets to level 9 for all 4 of his Light Warriors except 1 to level 8, but gets rewarded with the Power Gauntlet. Just what Zardia wanted to see. Another Agama fight. Lord of the Synth is out of the Carter Islands, going back into his airship. Nice 2 for $1.17. Oh! Oh! The Agama just blasted the Black Wizard of Czar and knocked him out cold. Life 2 is available to Zardia, but he does not have it. He wouldn't have any charges of it even if he did. He has not been to the New Melmond. We'd like to welcome I Am Guitar, as again the crowd continues to grow. Enjoying the show. Zardia is leaving the Gurgu volcano. He's gonna walk this out. He did not find apparently what he wanted. It might have been heal potions? He's got Excalibur, Katana. He had fast, but the loss of Will C, his Black Wizard, must have been what the decision was. Danny, can we make a note of that for postgame? Thank you. He's gonna walk this out. There's a heal helmet pickup for Lord of the Synth. He's moving his ribbon around. So ribbon continually keeps it on his red mage. I'd like to welcome Magius. As the crowd grows, he couldn't miss this. Lord of the Synth is parking his airship. He ain't gonna get very far. Sandworms. Oh no! Oh, gotta turn around. And a reset. Lord of the Synth does not have the canoe, and the Castle of Ordeal is canoe locked. Did not get there. He heads out to buy new. Zardia has made it out of the Gurgu volcano. Did not get a chance to check the red dragon chest, but he got the power gauntlet and he got some information. He's gonna check level 7 magic. Red Wizard can learn one of these spells. Black Wizard can learn both. Not sure. No, can't out. Roos has been class locked for the White Mage and the White Wizard. Level 7 White Magic in Gaia. Thank you, Denny. Lord of the Synth runs into the Zozo Melmond encounter and gets away. Still a bit annoyed. Zardia refills his heal potions. That might have been the problem in the volcano. I saw him check his menu twice. But I think the loss of Will C also did that. Lord of the Synth can't go to Castle of Ordeal. Checks his spell charges. He does not have many. Enters the ice cave at the 47-minute mark. Round 2. Zardia's in his airship. He's going to the ice cave. Unrunnable mummies and birds for Synth. Big pack of undead for Zardia. We are hand in hand. Ten pure potions for Zardia as he was poisoned. Synth's being slowed down here by this encounter. The Light Axe cast the harm 2 in battle. We talked about that before. Zardia gets the undead pack. His ninja is stunned and paralyzed. I think that was the dazzle. He's gonna take the fight. The Wraiths have Blizzard. That's an ice elemental skill and it's ravaging Czar. He's got to reset. He's gonna go back in. Lord of the Synth takes the lead in the ice cave. But he's got Wraith on his screen. He gets a Light Axe off. It's gonna knock out most of the Geist and It's not gonna knock out anybody. Apparently. Blizzard from the Eye Mages. Did they both have Blizzard? Was that the race and the images? Lord of the Synth is leaving the ice cave. He's out of here. There's those wizards with nuke. We know they've got that. There's an ambush of Czar. He's not doing that. Czar's going back in again. Lord of the Synth goes to Sarda, picks up the crystal. We know this will lead to the bottle. That will lead to the required loot. That will put Lord of the Synth at the 12 key item barrier that will yield 150% experience should he choose to do this fetch quest route. First, he's going to turn in the ruby. Czar did this earlier, there was nothing here. Czar gets ambushed by the Eye Mages with Blizzard. The Wraiths have Dazzle. Blizzard again. 1, 2, 3 Light Warriors down. Reset, round, we're going to call it 5 for Zardia in the ice cave. Czar is leaving the ice cave. He's not going to bang his head anymore. Both players tried to get through, ran into the same thing, and left. Czar is tilted a little bit. Look at him. Going this way, going this way. He's going to head towards the original Lefane. He's looking for Provoca. Lord of the Synth did this earlier. The answer right now is to go back to the Ryukon Desert. Park your airship, get back in the boat, and sail to the original Onrak to pick up Provoca. Because I think that's where the canoe is. I think Vicky's got it, or something that leads to it. Could be the dynamite, potentially. The slab, something along those lines. But I believe that is the play here. Lord of the Synth is trekking around. He's headed back to the original Crescent Lake. We know this is Gaia. He's got his bottle now. He's going to open that bottle and have a chit-chat with that tiny fairy, who will hand over the loot. Czar has the bad information now. Lord of the Synth reset a... I'm not sure what happened there. Czar is making the move. We think this is what he has to do. I think this is the required move at this point in time. The canoe... Yeah, it could be a third loose item. The likelihood is incredibly low. But Czar may have put the pieces together. He makes the move at the 50-minute mark to park the airship and sacrifice that to, again, sail the high seas. He's going the wrong way. Well, he can go this way. And sail to what we know is the actual Provoca in the original Onrak to fight Vicky and get level 2 magic. Lord of the Synth is back at Gaia now with the bottle. Lord of the Synth about to release a tiny fairy and pick up the loot. Czar runs into the Sayhags with Bane, but he gets away. This is going to be our first look at the Provoca town. Level 2 magic. He's going to check that out first. Go to the white magic shop. Heal 3 is a very good spell. He's going to pick up, I think he got Cure 3. Knight can learn those. Bane itself in level 2, as well as the versatile warp. That makes Ice Cave a lot more doable for Czar. Speaking of the Ice Cave, Lord of the Synth has returned to the Ice Cave. This tells me that Lord of the Synth thinks the canoe is in here. He may have to put the pieces together and find where it is that Czar is right now. This is a critical juncture. Could this even up a little bit the advantage, which we think is massive, that Lord of the Synth has, given he has the required loose item that Zardia has already bailed out on? Zardia initiates the fight after a talk with Bicky. He's taking on the pirates. Lord of the Synth gets through the second floor. There's more wraiths and eye mages on this floor as well. And there they are, and they ambush. Eye mage's first skill is slow. Oxyale has been picked up from Zardia. That's what Bicky had. It is not the canoe. He's gonna restock. That light axe does not take out these undead enemies. All these undead enemies with Blizzard, they all rolled high hit points. Lord of the Synth perishes again. He's going back in. And we believe that this is the right place that holds the canoe based upon the finding of the Oxyale and Provoca by Zardia. And I wouldn't want to do this at this point. Other options on the table are the Sea Shrine. We do not have the Chime. We cannot get into the Mirage Tower. We cannot get to the incentivized waterfall or Castle of Ordeal location. We think that those house the Rod and the Chime. More than likely. Question from chat from Jabillard. Welcome, by the way. The cube is held by Lord of the Synth, who's in the top of Marsh Cave. There's 4 chests up there, one of them linked. And Lord of the Synth has it. Czar was in there. Both players had some issues, some tougher enemies. Czar got what he needed and left. Lord of the Synth essentially full cleared it. Got really all the information that he needed. Picked up the cube. Bane from the Sahags into Zardia. Takes out his entire Light Warrior party except the Ribbon Wearer. Lord of the Synth is going to try again in the Ice Cave. These undead animals are everywhere. He gets a good draw with the mages. You know, there's Frost Wolves, Frost Giant on this floor. But it's mostly undead packs. They have high HP. And they've got scripts, let's put it that way. Lord of the Synth finally equips that katana on the ninja. He's figured that out. That's good. Czar resurrects his entire Light Warrior party. Lord of the Synth has returned to as deep as he has been in the Ice Cave. Does not have access to warp. He gets ambushed by mages. They only whack. That's good. Czar is picking up some spells for the ninja and the knight. They will start to occur spell charges at level 15, assuming class promoted before, which Zardia did. You'll get 1 spell charge at level 15, a second spell charge at level 17, 19 and 21 to a maximum of 4. It's every odd level after class promotion starting at 15. Lord of the Synth runs into a huge pack of undead. He's going to try to get initiative. And he does, with Harm 3. He's going to knock out a couple of them. Less than half. Dazzle from the Wraiths is good. He needs to get off something else. Gets the slow. Zardia, with his newly acquired Oxyale, does not want to go near the Ice Cave. He's going to the Sea Shrine. And he's going to the Mermaids. Remember, at this point in time, Zardia knows that there's another loose item out there. He has no idea he's already walked right past it. He also knows how difficult the Ice Cave is. Speaking of the Ice Cave, Lord of the Synth has made it through the trap tile of Doom. He picks up his second Pro Ring. No, it's his first pro ring. He didn't get the first one. Sea snakes have sleep. Uncharted ground for both players at this time as we near the 1 hour mark. The ninja has perished for Czar. He's got warp charges, Lord of the Synth does not. It's at level 2. Lord of the Synth has made his way to the 6 chests in the ice cave. Trap tile here of Frost Wolves, he's gonna take it. More sleep, sea snakes for Zardia. And Lord of the Synth get what we think is the canoe out of here. Can he get there and get out? We know that exit was available at level 3 white magic and it was red mage and wizard learnable, I believe. E-tap, I think that's what we went through. Okay. Zardia is down to 1 light warrior. It is the red wizard. Trying to gain information. Again, he has warp charges. He runs into more ghosts. Oh boy. Wham! Gets a fire 3 off. That's going to take out none of them. Wham! Missed! Ooh! 74. He cannot survive another hit. Oh, and he gets initiative. He's going to take out the 3 ghosts. Zardia is going to get a level or 2 out of this one. 14. Zardia is going to try to heal. And he does. Lord of the Synth progressing. There are wizards on this floor as well as undead, mummies and birds. He's back to the first floor that he perished on already before. It's just the other side of it. Great run for Lord of the Synth, as Zardia has to fight more ghosts. And there's those wraiths for Lord of the Synth. Dazzle is good. He's got to get out of this fight. There's the light axe, takes out a couple of them. Zardia resets, and he's going to re-enter the Sea Shrine. He loses his progress. He has a bit of information though. There's a heal pot, Minochi 85's favorite weapon, the Great Axe, and onto what we believe is the canoe. Or something that may lead to it. Potentially the dynamite, or a slab situation at the 1 hour mark. Lord of the Synth taking on the Eye. A lightning 3 and a fire 3 are not enough, but the legendary Excalibur does the trick with a physical melee attack. It's level 10 and 3 light warriors get to 11. The incentivized item in the ice cave is the dynamite. Zardia has dug a ribbon out of the mermaids. That's the second ribbon along with the incentivized ribbon that was given by the King of Canaria. Lord of Synth takes another fight with the Eye. Does he have exit? I can't see it. Runs into some unrunnable sorcerers on an off-step fight. Looks like he was trying to take another Eye fight, but sorcerers are going after him. They rolled 4 hits. Czar moving around Thor's hammer and the light axe as he continues to pillage the mermaids. Lord of the Synth continues to pillage the Eye. I'd like to remind you of the upcoming Battle of Undefeateds. We've got a whole host of matches today, really. May 4th, 2019. But coming up, Cinco de Mayo. Very exciting match that a lot of fans and other players are looking forward to. It's the last Battle of Undefeateds. They've never met one-on-one, and they have not met in a year. The Dragon Slayer, Wukleosis, at 3-0. Takes on a good friend of his, the Lone Wolf, One Fine Day. It's going to be right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Don't miss it. Zardia is returning to the Ice Cave. He's at level 10. Lord of the Synth still trying to get out of here. He's got his dynamite, which we believe leads to the TNT. He gets the light axe off. I'm surprised Czar came back here. Czar is notorious, and he will tell you this. He's an over-preparer. This tells me that Czar feels a little bit uneasy about his progression so far in this game and wants to make a move, as he gets blizzarded. We're going to call it round 8 for Zardia in the Ice Cave. Lord of the Synth is out the Ice Cave, heading directly towards the Dwarf Cave to turn in his dynamite. Question from Gladius in chat. 3 p.m. Eastern. Cinco de Mayo. 5/5. May 5th. Zardia runs into more wraiths. Didn't use too many of the dazzles and he gets away. Lord of the Synth turns in the TNT and the dynamite. It leads to the herb. Lord of the Synth is going to use the herb to wake up the sleeping elf prince. And the sleeping elf prince opens up the game and hands over the canoe. Zardia gets to level 9. He chooses not to do warp. It's a soft potion as a reward. A cabin. There's the warp trick. He picks up his dynamite. Lord of the Synth pauses in his airship. Where to next? He's headed towards Castle of Ordeal. Big, huge undead pack for Czar. He's got to get out of this fight. He's got to figure something out. He's got a couple warp charges. He could leave here. But remember, he doesn't have the second loose item. He doesn't have that type of knowledge and luxury that his opponent does. If he did, I bet you he would leave. But he gets a Fire 3 off. Gonna wipe out most of the undead pack. Lord of the Synth not only has the advantage and lead in this match that we can't calculate because we can't see into the future, but he's now taken the lead in progression and dungeon. When our 5 minutes, Lord of the Synth starts the Pillar Shuffle Maze. These are unique to each and every seed that you get and that you decide to play on FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Should you, of course, choose that option, which is the norm, certainly when you see these wonderful games being restreamed here, whether it be on our sister broadcast partner, Randomania, or right here live on Speed Gaming. Or potentially later on, over on YouTube. That's where I came from. I used to watch these matches all the time and listen to Nitz, Triton GL, Ikbin Maya. Used to watch the now current champion, the Edgeworths, and Minochi 85s. Until I certainly had to join the community and I had to be part of this action. Led by Zardia on the left-hand side of your screen, with contributions from so many players and so many volunteers, Lord of the Synth being one of them. As he runs into some zombies with Flash that came from the Big Eye, and the script shuffle, spells, and skills. That's level 13 for Lord of the Synth. If you're wondering what his name means, he makes synthesizers. That's what he does. Hence, Lord of the Synth, for a fun fact. For this great 2-in-1 player here tonight live on Speed Gaming. As the crowd again continues to grow, I'd like to welcome the Baroness. Lyra SRL joins us. Talk about volunteers, thank you. Also, the Mastermind is here as well. Crab Cakes, thank you for your volunteering. We could not have pulled off the 6 shows that we did, this being the encore of them, of the Friday night, May 3rd into early Saturday morning, May 4th. Lord of the Synth has successfully maneuvered through the Pillar, Shuffle Maze, and Castle of Ordeal. He's on the final floor. He runs into mummies with Dark. That's a spell. That's Death Touch! That Death Touch? Wizard mummies? Let's take a closer look. We don't want to know what spell is behind Dark on the mummies. Believe me, we don't, but... Was it... With Lastoid, was that Death Touch? I looked over at Czar for a second, I came back. Okay, we're gonna keep an eye on that. Wizard mummies are on that trap tile over in the waterfall. And they show up again later on in the Mirage Tower. And the equipped ribbon... Okay, I thought so, thank you. There's another... Speaking of ribbons, that's the third ribbon. We found an incentivized ribbon from the King of Canaria. We've got a loose ribbon located in Castle of Ordeal. We believe this will be a required dungeon. And Danny, the other ribbon? Mermaids? The other ribbon was located in the Mermaids. Wizard mummies have Death Touch, Wraiths with Dazzle, Eye Mages with Blizzard. Lord of the Synth with Heal Pots and Tents. Czars are going to relax on the eye for just a little bit. Lord of the Synth taking on some sorcerers as he nears the incentivized chest. It is the rod, it is required. As we near the 1 hour, 9 minute mark. Lord of the Synth is pausing, looking at his menu, looking at it, what else do I need? He needs the chime. I believe that will be located after finding the slab and translating it in the waterfall? I believe. Question from chat. This is a great one. From Valkyrie TR. Nice to meet you, by the way. What does incentivized mean? Answered from Crabcakes. An incentivized chest will hold a key item. To expand on that further, we just saw Lord of the Synth pick up the rod. That's a required item in order to progress inside the Earth Cave, which is a required dungeon, which leads to a Fiend. You have to take out that Fiend in order to light an orb. So, a required key item. Also, what it can mean is, depending on how you design your flag set, it can also be not necessarily a key, or excuse me, not necessarily a required item, but it could also be a key item such as a very valuable weapon, a very valuable piece of armor, or perhaps a very valuable tool that can lead you to either something very valuable or something very required. The best example of that being a ruby. That can lead you to certain things. Often not required. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you want it to be required because it can lead you to something incredibly desired. And that's what incentivized means. These enemies attempting to run amok of Zardia as he's re-entered the Gurgu volcano at the 1 hour 11 minute mark. This is happening right now, fans, is a byproduct of Zardia not checking the top of the Marsh cave for that loose cube. Zardia's opponent, Lord of the Synth, has a luxury right now. He can put the pieces together about that he needs to go to the waterfall, pick up the slab. He'll also be able to pick up his Oxyale with the nearby town of the New Provoca. That will lead to the chime, which will open up the game and put Lord of the Synth potentially in go mode. Zardia starts to dig deeper into the Gurgu volcano. There's one chest left in here, that's what Zardia is going for. And then he will look to take out the Fiend of Fire and potentially light the first orb of this match. Welcome Shadow Walker, the Panther! Laying in the shadows waiting to strike is Shadow Walker. asking about the loose items, of course the cube in Northern Marsh, and then the second chest in the game. The ship, water vessel located in the Temple of Fiends. The Mystic Key came very early from the sages of Crescent Lake who were located in the old Provoca. Lord of the Synth picks up Warp. He finds that information as well as Heal 3. You can buy that for the night as well. Czar takes on the required Agama fight as he heads towards what we call the Red Dragon chest. Or the Red D as you can see on his screen. Ooh, Red D wax edge going after the champion. Champion fights back, says, take this, Red D. Katana to the face, 254. Red Dragon's been dispatched. I'd like to welcome Faye Wins as the crowd continues to grow. Thank you for the update, Danny, in the background. Faye Wins, it's been a while. Great to see you. Already running away from a fire elemental. Lord of the Synth initiates a chit-chat with Bicky. Bicky has sent out 9 pirates. They ain't not gonna last very long. Zardia initiates the fight with Carrie, the Fiend of Fire. It is very strong with a katana, the legendary Excalibur. Got fast charges, tempers. Dual tempers into the night. There's a katana strike, 113 and a critical hit. Lord of the Synth has his Oxiale. Czar, playing it very safe, uses the Power Gauntlet, casting Saber on himself. He has a whack from an Ice Sword, 144. 321 from the Excalibur, and a Katana Smash for 104, one-hit critical. Carrie's last round is an Excalibur blow for 314, followed by a Katana blow, critical hits. 247, Zardia takes out Carrie. That's the first orb, 1 hour, 14 minutes. Lord of the Synth starts to tread new ground. He's headed towards the waterfall. Question from Valkyrie again, is there another race after this? This is not. There is not. There's those Death Touch wizard mummies. We gotta keep an eye on this. They're in the ambush. We'll get right back to you, Valkyrie. Nope. Lord of the Synth is gonna reset. Zardia has returned to the Marsh Cave. Now the tides are turning. Zardia will now locate his loose cube, his missing required item. It will give Zardia all the information, and all he has to do is attain to enter Go mode. That's not it, that's a house down here. It's 2 chests. Once you can get past these scorpions. Hang with me, Valkyrie, I've got the information coming up for you right now. There it is! 1 hour, 15 minutes. I believe they call this no mode. Zardia immediately leaves, jumps in his airship. He's gonna head towards Castle... No? What? He's going back to the Sea Shrine? Okay. Zardia re-enters the Sea Shrine. He was in here earlier, was able to raid the mermaids. Going for it, apparently. Again, he knows where everything is at this point. He knows how he can get there. Lord of the Synth continues to try to traverse the waterfall. Question in chat. This was actually the 4th of 4 matches that we put on in 5 hours. A great showing from Final Fantasy Randomizer. We're all live here on Speed Gaming. From all the work of Hierofellows, Dark Moon, Danny3883, she's tracking right now in the background with a big smile on her face. She tracked multiple matches. Double Duty, Kyukatsuki, Trenton GL. Lord of the Synth has those wizard mummies. He gets a nuke off and he gets away with it. The next match coming up is Caleb. Rafe Hates Caleb, the podcast extraordinaire, taking on Len the Cat from halfway around the world in Eastern Europe. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. right here on Speed Gaming today, May 4th, 2019. Coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the fan favorite Wote takes on the aforementioned Kyukitsuki. And also Tyrant X takes on DD Gaming, is also at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Lord of the Synth picks up the Slab out of the waterfall in the uncharted territory. And does he not have Warp? Thank you. It's the nuke off. It's level 18 for Synth. He's taking fights with that is a formation full of wizard mummies, and two kinds of birds. I gotta think that he's just gonna fire off as many nuke charges as he has, because he's seen how weak they are. They all fall to it. I mean, regular mummies here are falling to fire 3, but this is a risk. With it, you can roll. They can ambush Synth here potentially, and that could roll 4 wizard mummies, and they could blast him, and it could hit. Those ribbons that we talk about and how important they are, fans, they don't help you with Death Touch. That is pure natural leveling in what's called M defense. It's a hidden stat within the game. No pro ring gonna help you. Ain't no ribbon gonna help you. Not no dragon armor. The Vorpal wouldn't even help you against a Death Touch enemy. And he's out. Lord of the Synth takes the gamble at a couple levels, and that is complete. We believe that the Slab translation is upcoming and will be turned in to yield the Chime, which will yield Go mode for Lord of the Synth potentially. Okay. More action coming up tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The Enforcer Falconic at 2-1 takes on the newly 2-1 Tarnin. 2 leaders of the Final Fantasy community, 2 good friends, are going to battle and go at it. 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Saturday, May 4th, 2019. That will be right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks as well. Apologies, there's the crack for the lobsters. We're working behind the scenes to get our tracker back up as we speak. Oh. Zardia is down to the Red Wizard. We're attempting to light the cube for Zardia. That is a bit of a problem that we are working on. We are on our way. Lord of the Synth translates his Slab. Zardia gets out of the fight after losing his Light Warriors directly to his magic, and he's exiting. Czar, he knows where Melmond is, but he left. It's in the original Gaia. He went there early, saw it, and then just left. He never saw the Life 2 that's in the first slot. He does not have that on his Red Wizard. Should he potentially go to the waterfall soon, pick up that Slab, and go to translate it, he can do that all in one swoop. But miss, excuse me, miss, excuse me, Zardia re-enters the Sea Shrine, and I sense the frustration. I've played a lot with Czar. I know I know Czar pretty well, and I can see it in his gameplay. I know he's a little bit frustrated. He's banging his head now in the Sea Shrine. Lobsters have crack. That is an Earth Elemental instant death spell. Not Death Elemental, it is Earth Elemental. Ribbons will protect you. Got 2 of them. Lord of the Synth picks up his Chime. Lord of the Synth enters Go mode, 1 hour 22 minutes. No orbs quite yet. Zardia has one from the Gurgu volcano. It has been cleared. Both players have picked up both loose items. Best weapon that we found is a katana, and both players have mostly kept their ninja around, and the legendary Excalibur. No sign of the versatile, high damage dealing Mazmoon weapon. No sign of the crit machine, game-changing Vorpal Blade. Not seen dragon armor. We have, however, located the power gauntlet. Czar exited out. We'd like to welcome very knowledgeable, although sometimes, you know, we'll just leave it at very knowledgeable. We'd like to welcome a legend in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. You don't see him very often. Drumbordist joins us live here on Twitch. Live on Speed Gaming Prime. Twitch.tv/speedgaming. As Lord of the Synth returns to Melmond. He's going to the armor shop. He wants those gold. Yep, 27,000 and change gold bracelets to outfit his light warriors. He's does not have that opal bracelet. That was in the armory? I think. No sign of a black shirt, no sign of a white shirt. Armory. We'd like to welcome Archmage Schlocker. Live here on Twitch. As here in northern Michigan in the Eastern Time Zone, we reach around 3:30 a.m. This is the Midnight Special 3. I've had the honor of being here for all three of them. Kicked off by another legend back in October. Will Bloodworth was involved with that match. Lord of the Synth returns to Crescent Lake. This is where pro rings are, 11,000 gold. You can see Lord of the Synth, he knows he's on go mode, and now he's preparing to take on all 4 Fiends. He wants to attack this game. There's the crack from the lobsters. It gets the ninja. Thor's Hammer and Lightning 3 takes out the rest of them, though. It's level 20 for Fiesel, and 21 for Adirondack Rick. Question about how a ribbon works. It's equipable by any light warrior at any time, whether they be promoted or unpromoted. We'll finish that out as Zardia right now is going to decide to take on Kraken 1. His ninja is down and out of the first slot. He's going to leave him down. Zardia's going to prepare well. He's going to use the power gauntlet to cast Saber in battle. Oh, 9 hits from Kraken, but only 100 damage into Fiesel. Czar starts his buffing. Temper and a power gauntlet. We're going to move on to round 2 for Czar as he attempts to light his second orb. Cure 3 and he heals up the knight. He's back to full strength. Oh gosh! Kraken obliterates Will C. He's down to 2 light warriors. He fires another Temperer and another power gauntlet. Kraken attacks and blasts the red wizard Adirondack Rick. He's hurting now. He's going to use Cure 3 on the knight. The knight starts to attack now. 435 damage and a big swim from the Excalibur takes out Kraken. Czar's got his second orb lit. Lord of the Synth did some shopping. He's going to save. He's going to start on his quest. He's going to head to the Gurgu volcano, I believe. But going back to the question about the ribbon, it's equipable by any light warrior at any time, whether they are class promoted or not. It acts as headgear. It acts as a helmet, takes the helmet slot. There are 4 slots. It is shield, body armor, hand armor, and headwear. So it takes that slot if you equip it. And it gives you resistance / immunity, is what I like to call it, from all 8 elements. Stone, poison, death, earth, time, status, fire, ice, and lightning. As far as a damage spell, like potentially damage, poison, or ice 3 from an enemy, it essentially cuts the damage that it cuts in half. And as the power of a ribbon, there are 3 of them in the game. Zardia has entered the Earth Cave. Lord of the Synth has entered the armory area of the Gurgu volcano. He's about to pick up his opal bracelet. Volcanic FF the Enforcer, noting that Czar is on the hunt for the Game Changer and the Vorpal. Czar does his quick Earth 1 check. It's been done from time to time. He knows that he has not been to the waterfall. He knows that will yield something important. Question from chat, what is the Game Changer? Volcanic, give it to her. Lord of the Synth digs deeper into the Gurgu volcano. Czar digs deeper into the Earth Cave. Volcanic FF puts out the Vorpal Blade. It is a weapon that can be equipped only after class change. Only on a knight, red wizard, or ninja, should you choose. It is a high crit rate weapon. 60% of hits will be critical. It comes from the lore of Alice in Wonderland. It's got a great story. It was picked up by Dungeons & Dragons, as well as certainly Final Fantasy. It's the highest crit rate weapon in the game. It can be used by anybody, whether they like it or don't like it, in specific situations in order to get through a very difficult endgame fiend potentially. Some players like to use it exclusively. Some players like to throw it off the top of the floating fortress into outer space. It's a maligned weapon. Love it, hate it, don't like it, maybe use it if it's there. If it's the only thing you got, I'll use it. It's definitely there, and its crit rate is undeniable. That is what we call the Game Changer. I'm pretty sure he does, Danny. I thought he did. I don't think he's been there. Okay. Lord of the Synth brings up the battle with Carry 2. He has chosen Carry in the Gurgu volcano. He was in the area. It was very good routing from Lord of the Synth. He's got to take out the Fiends now. No, he doesn't. There's the dragon armor. Has been found by Czar. I can tell you this right now, his opponent is not going to find that. That's an advantage to this dive that Zardia has made into the Earth Cave as he picks up the dragon armor. He's not done Castle Ordeal. Has he, Falconic?
Hello and welcome. No, he has not done
Okay.
that, nor has he done Waterfall, I believe.
No, the waterfall, of course, leads to the slab. And slab translation would eventually lead to the required chime. So Czar is diving the Earth Cave without the rod. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome the Enforcer. Staying up late here, couldn't stay away from the matches, just wanted to sit back and watch. An extra day off from work to help out. Did so much work that this gentleman does behind the scenes in Final Fantasy Randomizer, you have no idea. We thank you for that, Falconic, and we thank you for staying up late here, being amongst the fans, and certainly joining me for this great match of these 2-in-1s. Falconic's going to take over for just a moment as I'm going to step out and have a quick breather. Thank you, Enforcer.
Well earned. So, a couple things that chat's been kind of pointing out that is a little bit surprising here is Czar checking Earth floor, or checking pretty much all the Earth floors, because he knows that Waterfall's on the table, and that, like I said, he's trying to check, I think, for a weapon at this point, but why you wouldn't do Waterfall and hope that maybe the weapon doesn't land there while you're picking up your items is a little bit strange. But looks like we got a little bit of a high five here. Lord of the Synth is diving into Earth. Czar's wrapping it up here. I think you're going to see here real quick that Synth is down an orb. He was technically just down 2, but he's about to make a surge through. I wouldn't doubt if we're going to see Synth with 4 orbs before Czar finally clears out Waterfall and Ordeals and makes his break towards the 3rd one.
You know, you've been in that crowd the entire night, sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying maybe, a couple minutes off from all the work that you've done. Like I said, Lord of the Synth playing this pretty good. Is that what you see from afar?
Yeah, I mean, Synth isn't 2-1 for no reason. He was a surprise 2-0. I think he just took his first loss last week. Synth he's playing this very well. I think obviously a little bit fortunate to find the 2 loose as early as he did, but that's a credit to him deciding to check top of Marsh. I think the meta, at least in the last few weeks, has been to not do top Marsh, just go south and get the item and get out. Because Marsh is Marsh. We saw that earlier in a match with Mo and Grigglypuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, he put himself here. He didn't just get lucky.
No, not at all. You're 2-1, Falcana. You got your big match coming up in about 15 or so hours. Do you check the top of Marsh?
I'll tell you after the match, because Tom is probably going to listen to this, and I don't want to tip him off.
Yeah, he's your opponent, good friend of ours.
Yeah, Tarnin's good. You ran into him, I believe. You took him out, gave him his first loss, I believe. So
That's correct. It was a very tight match. You were there for it. I thank you again for that. Very competitive match. It's available on YouTube very quickly as soon as we can export that. Thank you.
that one's already on YouTube. It's already there. It's one of the VODs that we kind of pushed through over the past week or so. Czar's finally making his way over to Ordeals, by the way, so he's going to pick up, I believe, the rod was here?
It is.
Okay, so he'll pick up his rod, which feels really bad that he was diving Earth then. Does he not remember that he got the ship loose, maybe? Is he still on the hunt for a loose item?
Well, I've done that. I did that in my match. Recently. The ship, you almost always get it from the NPC. When it pops loose, it just kind of, wrangles your head a little bit. It's possible, but I do think that he is searching for the game changer. Do you agree?
I mean, he certainly is. He's searching for it. If that's all he's doing right now, I gotta question how he's doing it.
Potentially questionable. Potentially.
You don't dive Earth 3 floors deep, even with warp or exit, if you're only on the hunt for a sword. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see how he answers that in your post-race interview. But making quick work so far.
Noticing that from the crowd, he thinks that it's possible Zardia forgot that he picked up the ship loose. That could be, and he's searching for a second loose item. He is missing that required chime at this point. I did see him check his menu. He does not have it.
Looking over at Synth, I think the only thing he's missing as well is going to be really that endgame weapon. The katana's nice, but you're not relying on a dead ninja right now.
No,
it's got to be more than likely Mirage or Sky, and if he picks it up, he's going to light these orbs really fast. You're going to see, I think you watch somebody like Edgeworth or Minochi go through, and they might have a seed where they're at like the 110, 115, and they have no orbs lit, and then all of a sudden, 18 minutes later, they're in Topher. You can really get through these Fiend dungeons pretty quickly if you're in go mode.
Question from chat, is Synth in go mode? Yes, he is. He has been for a little while. He did all the incentives, gathered up all the items, he checked his menu, and he went shopping. He bought gold bracelets and pro rings to stock up his defenses, went directly to the Gurgu volcano, got his defenses even better with the pickup of the opal bracelet. Thanks, buddy. And now he's looking to knock out the Fiends, light the 4 orbs. Czar is closing in. He's gone through the pillar shuffle maze, and he picks up his rod. I hear him talking to himself right now. Once again, we'd like to thank the amazing Danny3883. We've been saying that name so many times. That's because that young lady has just been... saying thank you is definitely not enough for the volunteer and the skill that she has. She's the one that clicks all these buttons. She lets me know in the background if I miss a nuke spell. Taps me on the shoulder, says, William. We thank you very much, Danny. Math Girl doing the setup. We know she's out and about, all the volunteer work you do on speed gaming. the Feasels and the Adirondack Ricks at Speed Gaming, all the volunteer work that you do, so that we can get these great matches of Final Fantasy Randomizer to the fans. We've had 3 matches the last 3 weeks that tends to stand out, of something that you just can't write in a Hollywood movie. You can't do it. It has to naturally happen. It starts with our development team. It started in week 2, Wilcleosis against Tristal MTG, the revenge match. If you have not seen that, send me a message, join the Discord, do whatever you gotta do to watch that match. It was followed up the next week, in week 3, by this gentleman sitting next to me, Volcanic FF against Spellzap. I was there for that, and I'll never forget it. I've watched the match 4 times now. And that was followed up last night by a Battle of the Undefeateds. The Mastermind Crab Cakes took on Shadow Walker in something, again, you cannot write in a Hollywood movie. Those are 3 matches, potential Match of the Year candidates in any game that we've been able to put together here. Starting with our development team led by Nitz, Trope and Troper Zero, and all the work that he's done. Meridian BC, we call him the proprietor. Septimus and all the work that he's done. Falconic, he's been doing a ton for us lately. He's been great. It all starts with them. Zardia, with his rod in hand, has now entered and is traversing the waterfall. He will get his slab, which will lead to, I believe it's the herb? No, excuse me, he will get the slab, which will lead to the chime. Lord of the Synth has taken out Lich, gotten through the Earth Cave, and lit his second orb. He's doing some more shopping for spells for the ninja in the night. He saves at the new and old Elfland. Jumping back in his airship, he will now head toward either the Shuffle Town of Onrak or the Mirage Tower. We think this will be the Mirage Tower. Birds have fire too? Did we even see that before? Czar sees the opal armor. He's gonna pick up the Pro Ring. He has dragon armor. Okay, there you go. Don't need the opal armor. Lord of the Synth is making his way to the Mirage Tower and the Floating Fortress. And Lord of the Synth is checking chess. Lord of the Synth is resetting. Zardia has his slab. He's leaving the waterfall. Lord of the Synth re-enters the Mirage Tower, and he is not checking chess. I sense a little bit of heat for Lord of the Synth as we near the 1 hour 40-minute mark. His knight is napping. That's not the greatest of signs. Zardia stops off, stays at the inn of the new Provoca, runs from a Great Pete. He's gonna jump back into his airship. He's still gotta do the Earth Cave. He still has to enter the Mirage Tower and the Floating Fortress. He still has to get his chime. He returns to Melmond. Czar, you gotta go to the White Magic Shop. Zardia goes to the White Magic Shop and finds Life 2 that he never knew, and he's kicking himself. Tier 4 and Wall were unavailable. They are White Mage and White Wizard exclusive, based upon their slots and where they fell. Checks the Black Magic Shop. Czar is really kicking himself now, as he finds new. Learnable by both the Red Wizard and the Black Wizard. Lord of the Synth taking on a pack of vampires. They take out his knight. Zardia translates his slab. Lord of the Synth goes to his spells. He resurrects his knight to full health and continues. He thought about it. He paused over his screen and thought about bringing the ninja back. He decided against it. Lord of the Synth is in the greater than, less than, greater than area. Runs into a good experience pack of guards who are hitting for 3 hits, 3 damage, 2 hits, 2 damage. They are not. It's a great fight. Lord of the Synth decides to take it. Fires the lightning into the guards, and they're low HP. Takes a couple lightning 3 shots, though. They're gone. Zardia has translated his slab. He's doing donuts in his airship. He's headed towards the original Lefane, which is Lefane after the town shuffle. He's going to try to pick up his chime. Lord of the Synth continues to check chess, and he finds a defense sword. I've got to think that that is going to complete what it is that he wants and needs. There's the fire, too, again from the birds. I don't think we saw that all those times before. We'd like to welcome Mage Rion. You made it to a live show on Twitch. Welcome, it's been quite a while. Always a pleasure to have you. Mage R was in one of my most recent matches. One of my Light Warriors was named after this wonderful individual. Zardia has attained Go mode. He's got his chime. Starts to reset, sensing a little bit of frustration. Unrunnable Giants he resets. Lord of the Synth begins to heal some more. There's a flame shield. That's equipable by the Knight or the Ninja. He's going to put it on the Knight. Czar is making his way towards the Mirage Tower. Both players will now enter the same dungeon. Both players have 2 orbs. Both players are in Go mode. Zardia with an extra ribbon. Both players with a katana and the Excalibur. Lord of the Synth has the defense sword. Will he continue to check chess? Because I can tell you this, Zardia is done. I believe Zardia is the only player with the power gauntlet. Lord of the Synth is stepping on it through the Star Room. Catmen are annoying Czar. Green Medusa. Lord of the Synth moves on, takes a fight with the Eye. Whack from the Excalibur for 361. Lord of the Synth is going to check the 4 greed chests at least. There's an opal shield. He's going to switch out the flame shield. He should put that on the Ninja. He does not. He's going to put the opal shield on the Knight. Does not put the flame shield. Put the ice shield on the Ninja, maybe. Nah, he didn't. The greed chests are it. Lord of the Synth starting to step on it. Does Zardia check less than greater than? He does! He gets ambushed by Cerebri. He's going to get his defense sword. This is shaping up to be another memorable match. Lord of the Synth is on the Bridge of Destiny, fans. You know who patrols this Bridge of Destiny? The Death Machine, Warmack. Lord of the Synth gets a couple encounters, but it is not the Death Machine. If you want to see it, there they are. Sabertail, Crab Cakes, everyone's starting to bring out the Bless RNGs. Fan favorite Warmack. Potentially here. Lord of the Synth looking at his last nuke shot. He's not going to use it, he's going to save it. He's going to use it, the one from his Black Wizard though. Instead it's a Fire 3 for Chip. Zardia's closing in on the floating fortress. He's got to get through more Cerebri. A blue dragon fight, then he can use his cube. Level 22 for a few of Lord of the Synth Light Warriors. Remember, Warmack is here. He's got to heal before that. He's going to run from the Sorcerers and the Golem Pack. That run isn't guaranteed. Neil, his Black Wizard, would be the most successful one, and he didn't. But still, Lord of the Synth gets away, and Lord of the Synth gets away from the chance Warmack encounter. He's about to take on Tiamat to try to light his 3rd orb. Zardia is stepping on it. He's trying to close in to light his 3rd orb. Strike from the Excalibur for 142 after 4 hits. From Synth, and a fast gets off. Cure 2 into the Knight. Tiamat went after Neil. Tried to backshot Lord of the Synth, but he couldn't take out the Light Warrior. Zardia is going to pick up his opal shield. There's a temper from Lord of the Synth. Tiamat fires Sleep, but it completely misses the Light Warriors of Synth. 8 hits after the fast. 511 damage. Lord of the Synth lights his 3rd orb. Synth, I believe, is missing Sea Shrine, Danny? I think. Yes, okay. It's about a 3-minute dive. Czar just keeps getting fight after fight. An unrunnable sentry, they have huge absorb. They're also dead. Zardia closes in on the Bridge of Destiny. He's gonna pass on 3 wizard vampires. He does not like doing that. That tells me he is in absolute... Let's go. Look at Zardia healing before the Bridge of Destiny. He gets a chance to strike first and runs away. Back-to-back encounters were the same that Synth had. They might be on the same encounter table. He gets ambushed this time. Lord of the Synth has made his way to the new on-rack. He's going to take the time to save at the best inn in the game, the most beautiful one. There's 4 red hydras for Zardia. He's got to pass on this one, too. More red hydras. 1 hour, 48 minutes, and the tension starts to build. Lord of the Synth has entered his final orb dungeon. It's the Sea Shrine. He's going to check an out-of-the-way chest real quick and find nothing. And get into a fight with Grey Shark and a Shark. Zardia against Tiamat. 3 hits for 96 damage from the Ninja. 130 from Tiamat. Czar starts to buff with a Temper. More Temper is coming out. Tiamat goes after the Ninja. Excalibur! 4 hits, 583 damage. Zardia lights his 3rd orb. I would estimate a 1 hour, 55-minute area entry into the Temple of Fiends Revisited for the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer and Czar. About 153, 154-ish for Lord of the Synth. Maybe not. He finds out the lobsters have crack. He loses a Light Warrior and decides to reset. Those 2 ribbons protected him from that Earth Elemental. But he decides to reset because he wants his Black Wizard. That opens the door for Czar, who immediately closes the door back on himself because he can't buy life, which is locked out to the Red Wizard. He, however, can buy fast for the Red Wizard, which he does. And the Black Wizard as well. A very worthwhile trip for Czar. There's the lobsters again for Synth, but he gets away. Zardia is starting to close the gap, increment by increment. Zardia enters the Earth Cave. Oh, we can see it coming, fans. Those 3 Match of the Year candidates that we've had, 1 each week. Yeah, we talked about earlier. Get out there and watch them. Send me a note when you're done. And say you were right. You weren't smooth talking me. We might have another one. Czar hitting a long string of encounters. These ghosts rocked Czar for Synth. He's gonna run and get away. He's gonna check the greed chest. He's gonna take the trap tile of the Grey Shark. Lord of Synth is opening the door more for his opponent Zardia to close this gap. The estimates are out the window. If I was to guess, both these players are going to enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited within 60 seconds of each other. And Czar may have actually just taken the lead because of this decision of Synth to take this trap tile. The possession of the Power Gauntlet and the extra ribbon gives an equipment advantage to Zardia. Lord of the Synth picks up what is being called and now known as the Game Clencher. That's the Bane Sword. Lord of the Synth sees the lobsters and hesitates. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? He's gonna fire Lightning 3 and wipe out this mob. Meanwhile, Czar just continues to run through the Earth Cave. The Zeus Gauntlet finishes off the lobsters. They do not get a chance to use the Earth Elemental crack skill that they possess. It's a Gray Shark encounter. The big eye does not show up. Eye mages in their blizzard cannot take out Czar this time. Czar was prepared. Level 23 for Lord of the Synth as he closes in on Kraken. The big eye decides to show up. Zardia has taken the lead on Lord of the Synth as he closes in on Lich. And Lord of the Synth tries to close in on Kraken. This is a battle of 2-1s. The winner will move to 3-1. It will automatically qualify for the play-in race. Both players have already qualified for the last chance qualifier at 2 wins. But believe me, neither one of them wants to play at the 2-win last chance. Only one player moves on from that. They want this. Lord of the Synth retakes the lead. He's about to initiate the fight with Kraken. Gonna use Fast in the Night. He gets it off. Zardia has initiated the fight with Lich. There's a big strike from the Excalibur. 641 Kraken is gone. Lord of the Synth lights his 4th orb 1 hour 53 minutes. He's back in his airship. Zardia takes out Lich. He lights his 4th orb 1 hour 53 minutes. No sign of the Vorpal. I've got to think that Czar feels comfortable. Lord of the Synth has been go-moding, still checking chests here and there. Both of them are in Canaria. Tick. Tick. Zardia's the first one to leave Canaria. Danny, you got this? 1 hour, 53 minutes, 30 seconds. Zardia enters the Temple of Fiends and goes back in time. 2,000 years. 1 hour, 53 minutes, 38 seconds. Lord of the Synth enters the Temple of Fiends. They're on the same encounter table. No, now they're not. It's an 8-second lead for Zardia, and he extends it just a little bit. They're going to be on a similar encounter table unless... Okay, this is the same encounter on different floors right there. The dragons on the right and the dragons on the left are different dragons. Zardia runs into some bad men. Lord of the Synth is going to see this encounter. He's going to see the same formation, potentially different number of bad men. It can be up to 9. Lord of the Synth essentially burned off an encounter and soft reset it. Let's see if he gets the bad men. He does. And Lord of the Synth is going to get the encounter that Czar has in its version on this floor. So we're off by 25 steps. There's the gas dragon encounter, that's that version. That's how Final Fantasy Randomizer works. It's a randomized step counter. It's a number system, 1 to 256. There's a threshold number. If that threshold number is hit or below, including the number 0, you hit an encounter. There's 8 encounter groups in each zone. Each floor is a zone. Those encounter groups are randomized throughout the game as well. Lord of the Synth finds a light axe in the validation chest and some money. He blows his loot. He's 2 floors behind Zardia, who's now really booking it through the green Medusas in the earth floor. Zardia entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited 8 seconds before Lord of the Synth. Very similar gear, advantage Zardia, and he's taken the lead. More green Medusas on the earth floor, who have 10 hits. Czar showing respect. The Lich, he's gonna heal. He's fighting Lich. Lord of the Synth is catching up. He's on the earth floor. Katana from Zardia into Lich for 100 damage. There's the Blaze skill. It's a fire elemental from Lich 2. Into Czar, he's going on to round 2. Lord of the Synth is closing in. Great action and adventure. Live here on Speed Gaming. If this is the first time you've heard my voice, or you've seen these 2 players, or you've seen this game, welcome. This is what we do. High-level competition. Good people. Great community. Outstanding 30-year-old game that's been modernized. Lord of the Synth is on Lich 2. Zardia is halfway on his way to Carry 2. You have to get through the Fiend refights. Lich 2, Carry 2, Kraken 2, Tiamat 2, and then the ultimate final boss, Chaos. Chaos took these 4 Fiends that these players are about to fight and sent them forward in time to stop the Light Warriors. This is their journey, and this is their adventure. My name is Will Cleosis, they call me the Infectious One. When I compete, they call me the Dragon Slayer. Iconic FF has named me the Smooth Talker. Tonight, I'm the storyteller. This is their story live on Speed Gaming. Lord of the Synth is on the same floor and starting to close the gap against Zardia. Czar hits another encounter before Carry. It's unrunnable. He has to take this fight. You see the weight. It's in the middle, kind of the middle little bit of the right side of your screen. He cannot run from this fight. He must take out these enemies. Lord of the Synth is hit a unrunnable encounter the Agamas. Czar takes them out. There's a Lightning 3. Lord of the Synth trying to save spell charges. That's level 24 for Synth. He's hitting this tough part as well. Carry 2 for Lich. We've seen an ink out of the skill pool. We've seen a blaze out of the skill pool. Czar gets off a couple of tempers and a strike from the katana. 97 damage. There's another ink out of the skill pool. Lord of the Synth still fighting through these encounters. He's going to run from the fires. I don't think Czar saw this. This is the difference in the encounter table. Nuclear out of Carry 2 into Czar. Radioactive. Radioactive does not matter. Czar takes out Carry 2, takes a step, goes through, starts to heal. Again, the difference in the encounter table is ever so slight. Lord of the Synth gets another unrunnable. This is going to slow him down, allowing Czar to try to regain his lead as he gets a chance to strike first against the Seafood Party Pack. Runs away. That's huge. Waters are runnable. Czar's going to run. They can whack. Czar gets away. Question from chat, no, we have not seen the Masmoon. Czar's starting to fly through the water floor, trying to gain that lead back. Buckle up, fans. It's the battle with Kraken 2 as Czar starts to prepare for it. He must protect Adirondack Rick. That's Rick. His life 2 charges. He's also going to try to protect Fiesel to try to bring the party back. Kraken 2 on the left side of your screen. Carry 2 on the right side. We know Carry is radioactive with nuclear. Czar with a very similar strategy, firing tempers and using that power gauntlet. There's a strike from the ninja that's going to give him some information. He likes what he saw. Lord of the Synth starting to close back in. Czar is going to fight. He is not going to prepare anymore. 767 from the Excalibur, followed up by 135. Kraken tries to bash back against Edge. Knocks Edge, but all Light Warriors still standing. Lord of the Synth trying to close in. 896. Wow. The power of a power gauntlet and multiple tempers into the Excalibur. Czar has made it to the Echo of the Floating Castle. He's got to get through Tiamat 2. He's got to get through these fights first, the Unrunnable Sorceress, to try to get to Tiamat 2. Both these players know that neither player has finished. You have a race room that's hidden in the back where we communicate. It's where you say you're done and you finished. It's where you throw the towel in should you be interested in doing that. There's Czar and his Bane Sword, it misses. Lord of the Synth takes on Kraken 2. He's going to use a fast. He's down to 3 warriors. He's going to continue with that. There's 160. Czar is through. He's about to pull Tiamat 2. Fast is off. Kraken tries to bash the knight. It doesn't do too much, though. Lord of the Synth has got to step on this. Czar is incrementally by seconds extending his lead. He entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited with an 8-second lead. He's extended to about 90. Tiamat 2 for Czar, Kraken 2 for Synth. Synth, Swirl. The Swirl non-elemental attack comes up from Kraken 2 into Synth. Zardia gets a fast off into his knight and a temper. Lightning 3 from Tiamat into Czar. Moves on to another round. Heal 3, Lord of the Synth attacks with the nuke. Fires the Heat Seeker, and it hits well. Kraken comes back with Fire 2. Take this for 781. Lord of the Synth about to knock out. There's a Heat Seeker from Czar for 148 to team at 2. Uh-oh. Ninja only did 9 damage. What about the Knight? 752. Zardia dispatches team at 2. He's got to get through an unrunnable sorcerer fight, and maybe another one to try to get to the final floor. Lord of the Synth is cut back up. He's got to get through team at 2. The lead has shrunk just a little bit. We think it's about 90 seconds. Might be down to about a minute now. Zardia has made it to the final floor. 220% max. Randomization on this boss of Chaos. 202.22. Zardia pulls the fight. Lord of the Synth 1 floor behind. He's gonna fast. 244. After Chaos got initiative. There's the fast off and a defense into the Knight. And his attack from the Katana. 6 hits, 6 damage. Okay. Zardia's got to keep that in the back of his mind. 6 is 267 of crit. Oh! Chaos attack. The ninja edges down to 28 HP. More tempers going off for Czar. He's trying to make his Knight Fiesel the killer. Bane from Lord of the Synth into team at 2 misses. Heat Seeker from Zardia for 139 and more tempers into that Knight. The Katana wielder. Critical hit 149. Lightning 2 takes out the ninja. Edge is gone. Lord of the Synth is through team at 2. Power Gauntlet from Czar after another Heat Seeker for 336. It is not resisted. Chaos misses the Knight. Now he's going to go after Fiesel. Does Czar attack? What else do you got? Heat Seeker and a heal 3, and he's going to try to get him. Lord of the Synth has one more fight to get through, we think, to make it to this chamber. Lord of the Synth is through. 798 from Zardia. We've got a winner, everybody. GG's and congratulations to the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Czar. He moves to 3-1. Right now, Lord of the Synth is pausing for just a moment. He is actually congratulating Zardia as he attempts to pull the Chaos fight, and here we go. 204 flat. Czar pulled at 202.22. It is 98 second difference. Temper into the Knight. 218. Fast into the Knight. Chaos bashed the Red Wizard Ged. Still standing. More tempers into the Knight. Another temper into the Knight. Defense, raising his evasion. There's that Lightning 2. I gotta think Chaos might not last too long. More temper into the Knight. Another temper. Excalibur, 518. Ooh, Chaos just knocked out the Red Wizard. He's down to the Knight and the Black Wizard. More defense. He's raising his evasion a little bit more and gets the temper off. Chaos obliterates Neil. It's down to the Knight and Chaos. Lord of the Synth, can you do it? 752, and he does. Made it look easy. Congratulations, Lord of the Synth. Very close match we had here. A little bit of numbers. Zardia finished in first place to move to 3-1. 2 hours, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Lord of the Synth had a much faster Chaos battle from what we saw. Second place, our runner-up, 2 hours, 4 minutes, 59 seconds. So it was, about a minute and 14 seconds. We're going to give our players just a moment to hang out for just a moment. Zardia has the information. We'll try to get Lord of the Synth in here as well. We have a little bit of information from the crowd as well. We're being told in the background by some of the Final Fantasy Randomizer community that the Mazmoon was located in the keylocked Marsh chest? Huh. That's what we believe. And to thank Zardia for the raid. He has taken his stream that we certainly broadcast here on Speed Gaming and brought his viewers and his great fans over here to Speed Gaming Prime Live, as here on the East Coast and in northern Michigan we get past 4 a.m. as the Midnight Special 3 has concluded. We'd like to welcome the winner of the match, the leader of Team Vorpal, the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Zardia. You're moving to 3-1.
Will, thank you. GG. I was nervous. I felt behind that entire race, and it must have been a edge of the seat for all of you.
We'd like to welcome the 1 minute and 8 second, 90 second later, about to pull the Chaos Battle runner-up, LordoftheSynth. Welcome to the post game. Congratulations and good game to you, sir.
Dude, what a race.
GG, Synth. This was a bit of a seed that had me going to second and third tier strategy.
And whoever just followed me, thank you very much. I forgot to beat my own. Yeah, the last 20 minutes, I was basically on the edge of my seat thinking, why haven't you done them?
I was thinking the same. I was so nervous.
Yeah, it actually wasn't until I got to the Chaos floor that I thought maybe I had a shot at taking this down.
You were on the Chaos floor as Zardia was putting the final punches and sword swings into Chaos. A little bit of hard information about this match. LordoftheSynth, you were the first to get into the air, the 31-minute mark. Zardia, you were in the air 6 minutes later at the 37-minute mark. But there was a big difference. Excuse me, other way around. Zardia, you were in the air first. But the cube. The required cube was loose in the top of Marsh. LordoftheSynth, you went and got that early. No big deal, right?
Yeah, I always dive at those top chests in Marsh. I've been burned so often by not doing so that it's a regular thing for me. And with the ship in Temple of Fiends, right? So both those items were covered, like basically in the first 20 odd minutes of the seed.
Not for your opponent, Czar.
How long?
I didn't get cubed till very late. I had explored a lot, and I was thinking of skipping it because I felt so far behind, and I had exit. I said, you know what, we've got to check it, and it was probably the play of the game for me.
With Lit 3 and I think early harm of some sort, I decided it was worth doing just the Marsh, the full clear straight off, and I wiped. I tried to full clear the basement, and I wiped, and I came back down, and I just grabbed the incentivized.
You both
I
wiped.
did the same, yes.
You both wiped trying to clear the Keylock chest. You both got greedy, and you both got got.
Yes, I did. I even said that to myself. You're pushing your luck.
We have a bit of information. LordoftheSynth, you were able to make it a little bit farther in the key-locked areas when you got nuked by wizards.
Yes.
That wizard-guarded key-locked chest, we're being told, held the damage-dealing 2018 Spring Tournament winner for Best Sword in the game, the Masmon.
That's where it was.
So between that chest and I accidentally went the wrong way, and in ice, and fell into a pit without checking the third chest on the incentivized floor. And I'm like, okay, it's done. I'm not checking that chest. And I was worried it had something, but at least it was.
That leads me to my next question. Czar, we'll start with you. How about that ice cave?
I thought about going in again after that last wipe, and if I would have, I probably would have lost this race, as it was just nasty. And yeah, Will, we need to talk about those eye mages.
So
go ahead.
I got to ice. I wiped on the second floor, and then I realized, oh, I haven't checked Sarda. I have a couple fetch quests I can do. I'm just gonna go do those and come back. I was looking for the canoe, because the last thing I wanted to do was have the airship and have to sail all the way up to Onrak.
Czar, you made that move. What were you looking for?
At that point, I had lots of concerns about my defensive buffs. I had no white shirt, I had no defense sword, I didn't see Ruse, I didn't see Invis 2, So that's what I was digging for.
Invis 2 was level 3, I believe, and I don't think it was learnable, but I might be wrong.
Earth Cave was in the neighborhood. It was probably a bit cheeky of me to go all the way to the vampire, but I really wanted that defense sword, and that's the only thing that led me to dive in the greater than less than room as well, and I obviously scored big time there.
You also found in the 3rd floor, on the vampire floor, as you entered the Earth Cave without the rod, making a move, the far right chest, you dug out the dragon armor. Were you satisfied with getting the dragon armor out of that dive, or was it not good enough for you?
It was definitely good. At that point, I was committed to that chest and, at least digging out Earth Cave to the rod. And finding dragon armor, I think, was a big influence in me pushing forward and skipping a lot of the chest in Sky.
Pink Pajamas is pointing out in chat here, live on Speed Gaming, that both Invis 2 and Fog 2, the defensive spells, were White Mage and White Wizard exclusive. So that's obviously why we didn't see it. The defense sword, Lord of the Synth, you were the first to find it. When you found that defense sword, I sensed that you were ready and you stepped on it. Is that what you did?
Of the things I was looking for, that was probably the best one I could find, because I hadn't found the white shirt, and I tried to put Invis 2, because I don't have the learnable spell slots chart memorized, and I usually don't have them up in a race. So I found out the hard way that you could learn Invis 2. So yeah, defense was the last thing I was looking for. Mass Immune would have been pretty cool, and I checked a couple chests along the way once I was in go mode. But yeah, no joy.
Czar, the volcano dive. You go to the Agamas, you clear everything up to the Agama double trap tile. You find out the Agama's got a ton of HP. Did that influence your decision? What was your plan? What did you do? And why did you do it?
I think something happened in the volcano dive, and I did not feel comfortable going on to carry. I'm not sure what it was.
You lost Will C.
Yep, that's what it was.
You decide to walk out. You don't want to do that. I'm assuming you felt you had to. And how did you feel about that post? Did you feel that put you behind?
Absolutely, I felt it put me behind. I had good gear at that point. I had Excalibur, but my levels had a lot to be desired. And wiping at carry that point, I think, was too much of a risk. So I gambled. I said, we can walk out of here. I got a pretty good chance to get out. I think I had a much better chance of getting out than I did finishing carry at that point.
The funny thing about that is, I put off Volcano for a very, very long time. Under these flags, I'm actually really fond of dipping the armory. And for some reason, I don't remember really what my thinking was, but I'm like, I'll just come back to it. And Volcano, carry was the first orb I lit at like 90 minutes in, and I felt so far behind it.
One more stat update for the 2 players tonight. Zardia pulled Chaos 2 hours, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Synth, you did it 2:04 flat. Zardia enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited 1 hour, 53 minutes flat. Lord of the Synth enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited 1 hour, 53 minutes, 8 seconds. Separated you.
I had some trouble with unrunnable Agamas and Giants on the fire.
Were you using a 3-man party?
Yes. So I found a katana early enough that I thought about keeping the thief slash ninja alive. But he ended up dying, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna run with it. I have enough magic. I can probably get to like level 22 by the time I enter Topher. So yeah, he took a dirt nap, and I never brought him back.
That was probably a difference in me getting through Topher. I kept my thief and ninja up the whole time.
Yeah, so the thing I didn't do actually, I had life 2 charges. I could have brought him back and made him into a meat shield, but I actually didn't have the presence of mind to do that. I was just really, really fixated on, getting down to chaos as fast as possible.
The biggest difference that really happened was you both hard reset outside of the Temple of Fiends Revisited and walked in. You went in, and you hit chimeras in the beginning, both of you. You're on the same encounter table the whole way through. You both hit unrunnable red giants. Agmas had to go through them. You had the multiple little spots in the encounter table where it was a couple steps a fight, couple steps in a fight. Synth, you decided to soft reset very early after that chimera fight, and it put you just a little bit off of the track that Czar was on, and gave him 30 seconds or so to run through. And what ended up...
Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, go ahead, Synth.
No, so the reason I did that, so there was an encounter early on in the table, and then there was a fairly open stretch. I burned the encounter because I wanted the hero run through the first part of Topher, and that may have burned.
And kind of essentially what happened was it threw off the straight line that you both had, and it gave you guys just slightly different. Synth, you hit gas dragons the second time. Your opponent did not see that. He was able to find something that he was able to get out with a little bit quicker. And just seconds, a couple seconds here and a couple seconds there, allowed Czar the opportunity to get to the end of this match first. Well played, Synth.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you
very
much.
impressed. I believe this is the first time I've had a chance to call your match. Is that correct?
I think you might have done one in the spring tournament last year, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but it's certainly the first time since you've gotten quite good, Lord of the Synth. You are 2-2, and you are 2-2 for a reason. You were 2-0, and I had 2-0. I was getting ready to study you, and that's what I do. That's a lot of respect.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised to start off this tournament 2-0. I did not expect that. I was hoping for a 1-1. But I'm perfectly happy to go 2-2. I mean, this was a very, very close match against Czar. There were a couple minor routing mistakes. There were a few wasted minutes that I did making repeat trips, or I'd forgotten to do something, and that could have made the difference.
Your style and your plan was very clear. You wanted to get the items. You wanted to assess the loose item situation, knock out the waterfall ordeals. You remembered halfway to ordeals that you didn't have the canoe.
Yep.
So you turned around. Yep. We've all done it.
That alone could have made the difference, because that was basically 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of time. I had a call geared up to call, but I couldn't use it. I've never used it before, but you realized it, so you got out of that one, Sid.
Yeah.
Very well played. Our winner, Zardia. 3-1. The first week, tough match with Elastoid, a good friend of yours. You're getting pretty hot. You're one of the hottest players going on right now. What's the secret?
Probably these terrible seeds I've been dealt and my experience with them. I think a big difference maker in this one was my overworld routing. I had a lot of tents, and I tried to be efficient with them, and I think that saved me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went with cabins early on. Tents were down, and what was Elfland again? Oh, Elfland was vanilla. I think that's where I finally picked up.
We're going to wrap up here real quick. I have one last question for our winner. Czar, you, very early when you got the airship, yeah, I believe at the 37-minute mark, Synth, you were 31, I'm pretty sure. You went over to the original Gaia, found it was Melmond, and just left. You didn't check the magic shops. So you had no clue until you would go back there much later with the slab that Life 2 was Red Mage learnable, and that Nuke was in there as well, at least that you could have gotten for a Black Mage. Kicking yourself for it, will you do it again?
I felt so far behind that point that I figured, I'm only going to get 1 or 2 charges of these spells by the time I can get back here with higher levels, and that influenced the decision as well. But obviously when I got there's a little bit of kicking myself. Wow, really good spells here.
I can probably confirm at that point in time, based upon the fact that Lord of the Synth picked up, well, not only the ship, certainly a while before you did, but the cube and the lingering clouds of thunder that wanted to rain down on you, potentially because you had foregone that part of the Marsh Cave. And Lord of the Synth definitely had a large advantage at that point, so I can certainly confirm that. We'd like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting the Midnight Special 3. Honored to be here for all 3 of these telecasts. We can't thank Danny3883 anymore for everything that you do, pulling double, triple shifts and bring it in the work that you do. Thank you so much. We'd like to thank the crowd for joining us. We had a great, lively crowd right here live on Speed Gaming. Late night on the East Coast here in the United States, and certainly in Northern Michigan as well. We'd like to thank both of our runners, Zardia and Lord of the Synth. Zardia prevails, moving on to 3-1. Qualifies and guaranteed to make the play-in race. Lord of the Synth at the 2 wins makes the last chance qualifier. He's definitely qualified for that. We're going to see both these players coming up, not only next week, but into the week after that, guaranteed no matter what. We're going to move on to closing thoughts. Lord of the Synth, moving forward, what do you think? What's the plan? What are you going to do to try to compete a little bit more now that you're at 2-2 and people have already noticed you? Because I can tell you that I have, and you're winning some games.
Well, first of all, GG to Czar. Yeah, I'm not sure what I need to do. I do a little bit of research. I watch a couple of races. How my opponents like to play. I think what I need to do mostly is need to tighten up my routing just a little bit, because again, there's some wasted repeat trips, things I forget to do. I think these flags actually work in my favor because you have to check a lot of chests with incentivized Marsh and the tools items. I think that works in my favor. That said, in general, I feel like I check too many chests along the way. I need to think through what I'm going to skip under what circumstance just a little bit more. But I'm happy with this result, actually, despite the fact that it's a loss. I mean, Czar's a great runner. And yeah, I basically lost to him by a minute or so. I feel pretty good about that. So I think I'm going to be competitive against whoever I'm matched up with next week.
It's a large pool of 2-2s. We'll see what happens next week. Czar, the face of Final Fantasy Randomizer. Always there, always in the crowd, always on the crew. You're rambunctious, you've got great personality, you're a leader. Yet, you're the quietest 3-1. Do you like it that way? Do you want to keep it that way? Or doesn't matter?
I do like it that way. I'm not much for fanfare. I prefer most of my credentials to be, presented clearly. As for 3-1, there's so much competition in 3-1 bracket. I think I'll have to schedule my race late in the week so I can get in a lot of practice after the reveal show.
Congratulations to you, Czar. We'd like to remind you that coming up, later today, technically, it's going to be May 4th, 2019. Rafe Hates Caleb of RafeHatesCaleb.com, the podcaster. He's going to take on, where is it? Len the Cat. Wow. Battle of New versus Vet, if you could ever find one. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks on Saturday afternoon. Hyra Fellows going to bring you that call along with Mama Duck. Moist Mogwai is going to join the broadcast booth. Always a pleasure when we can get the voice of the leader of the New Player Initiative, Mama Duck and her ducklings, in the broadcast booth. That'll be the next match coming up. We'd like to remind you also that there is one more Undefeateds match coming up. It's the Lone Wolf, the 3-0 One Fine Day, taking on the Dragon Slayer, Wilcleosis himself. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2019. It's going to be right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Don't miss it. That winner will move on. There will be 3 4-0s left, and that will fill out that bracket. One shall stand, one shall fall. For Danny 3883, Zardia, Lord of the Synth, for the Enforcer, Falconic FF, for the entire Final Fantasy Randomizer community, we thank you for joining us tonight, live on Speed Gaming. We thank you for joining us reloaded and re-uploaded over on YouTube. And we gotta remind you, revive the power of the orbs.